Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about something that came out recently on the Smeraldo Books Twitter account. There have been some notes that have been left there, some involving Jin, Jungkook, and Taehyung. We're going to be talking about Jungkook specifically. We also have a moment kind of in a recent show where Taehyung might have been a little angry towards a friend. We'll definitely jump into that and that one as well. That is a cute and fun one. So if you are new here and you're interested in this type of stuff, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified anytime a new video drops. And if you're a hater, like to be the first to leave your hate comment, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and that notification bell also so you can be the first to do so. Now, let's just jump into it. Okay, so I'm not sure how to start this because there's a lot of things going on, a lot of puzzles that you need to put together. I don't know how far to go back with kind of the backstory in this, how much people know and don't know, so I'm just gonna start wherever I think that's okay. Just give a little quick synopsis on what's going on. If I do get any details wrong, just let me know in the comments because a lot of this stuff is kind of open for interpretation because the stories that I am talking about are within the music videos that BTS puts out, so that stuff is often open for interpretation. So anyway, BTS a while back, we're talking like maybe early 2019, they pretty much put their Save Me webtoon series kind of on hold. You may know this as The Most Beautiful Moment in Life, or HYYH, which is the Korean abbreviation for that. But basically, if you take all the moments from before 2019 and take kind of all the music videos and put it together, you can compile them into a story. It's a very dramatic drama, and it talks about a life where BTS is not very happy. They all split up, they do crazy things, they're broke, they're unhappy. One particular storyline that is the most unhappy is Jungkook, which is Suga and Jungkook. They act out kind of a story where no matter what happens, they die. Even going back in time to kind of fix their fate is death. There's no way to escape that, it seems. Part of the story, Jin does go back in time to try to save all his friends from everything that has been going on. So from any of the awful things that are happening between any of the BTS boys. But every time he tries to fix one thing, something else falls apart. And no matter what is fixed, Suga and Jungkook seem to always die. If you watch the Euphoria music video, you'll see Suga kind of die in a fire and what appears like to me Jungkook jumping off a bridge. These are more so hinted, but I think it's the story in my opinion. But all of that was kind of put on hold while they were putting out a little bit more different type of music. And the way they concluded it was probably fine. But it looks like they are trying to reopen that chapter and continue the story, as the story was guided along by a Twitter account called Smeraldo Books. You can find like notes and like hints to what the story is about. Basically little teasers of what they're going to be putting out. Smeraldo is basically a flower if you're not sure. It's a flower that appears multiple times in a lot of their music videos, so they call it Smeraldo Books on Twitter. When you go on their Twitter account, you'll see a kind of a lot of these dark texts which share very deep emotions about the stuff that they are going through and how they feel. Of course, the drama is very sad and dramatic, so these posts are very sad and dramatic. I feel like a lot of the stories, the BTS boys weren't even really acting that much. It almost feels like they're telling their own personal story, and sometimes that is dramatic, and this is just how they feel about it. But basically, what we're going to be talking about today specifically is going to be Jungkook and Yoongi. They weren't given really much of a happy ending. I wouldn't say it's happy at all. So Smeraldo posted kind of a little note, and it said this: Yoongi, 12 May year 22. Everyone must have their reasons for wanting to be dead, and for wanting to be alive. Why did Jungkook feel like dying? What did he live for? No, baby Cookie, don't die. I swear to everything, if they don't conclude this in a way that is cute and bubbly, it better be so sweet that the ending is filled with just pillows. I'm going to block them. They'll be so blocked they don't even know. What I do find interesting is that it says year 22, meaning 2022, right? Because recently they made a song kind of about how happy they are together and how happy they must be being together, which is exactly kind of what they showed in the Save Me webtoon. Like 2022 is around the corner, sort of. I hope they're not hinting towards something. Like that would be crazy. I don't think this is a real story. Obviously it's not a real story. People can't just go back in time, but it's crazy how they're making it feel kind of real. I don't know, that's how I feel about the story, that's my theories. But back to Jungkook and their ending. A lot of people were definitely really upset to read that little story from the Smeraldo Twitter account because it's depressing AF and it makes you want to cry. One person on Twitter wrote this: if HYYH Jungkook don't get a happy ending, I'm suing. Right? Like for emotional distress. The second person that I'm going to read kind of brings up the point that I did, that it doesn't really feel like Jungkook is acting. They wrote this: it's like a plot for a music video, but in fact when Jungkook cried when he saw the Hyung struggling, said by BTS, makes the story in those music videos 200% real. That is why when I watch these music videos, I feel like BTS is not acting, just like they are telling their old stories. Right, it feels very natural when I watch it, and it feels very real. They're just telling their stories through the music video, and I know that they have a say in that, so it could just very much be their story. I'm so glad that they may bring this storyline back. There's so much potential in this that a lot of new audiences, specifically new American audiences that have come into BTS, may not have known this about them. Another person said this: Jungkook will get their happy ending if we just block Smeraldo. Girl, I said the same thing. Just block them. They'll never make a sad story ever again. Or at least when they do, you won't know because you blocked them. So it'll be like they never did. The ARMY fandom, including myself, we're a little crazy sometimes. We're a little too much. I'm sure Big Hit is having a big old laugh over all of these comments talking about what is happening, speculating, and all that stuff. Because as of making this video, these tweets were just put out kind of a couple hours ago. So we know Big Hit's probably online kind of reading those comments. I want their story to be represented really well. Imagine like 300 years from now, people get to see kind of this BTS story, and then they're watching it and they're thinking, wow, an autobiography by BTS. They had this dramatic life. Now, Taehyung is someone who has a lot of friendships. No doubt, he's a very lovable person. Obviously, all of the members have friends outside of BTS, I would assume so. But I think Taehyung has kind of the most, at least the most that has been documented. Maybe the most celebrity friends. Like, I always see photos of him in his childhood with childhood friends. It's like, man, how many childhood friends you got? I rarely talk to any of them anymore. It's not good. I probably should reach out. He has one friend named Choi Woo-shi, and fans are calling this particular moment with V and Choi as the forgetting he's rich moment. A lot of people are likely jealous of this friendship, as you do. They wish they could be Choi so they could be friends with Taehyung, or the other way around. But oh my god, imagine being friends with Taehyung. Like randomly having Taehyung just FaceTiming me. I know Taehyung is my husband, okay? But like we never talk, so I would like a husband that talks to me. Taehyung basically became friends with Choi and some other guys as well when they were filming on set for Hwarang in 2016. A lot of them have been good friends for a good minute now. I mean, it's been 4 years. In their recent show on the TV network TVN called Summer Vacation, now Taehyung wasn't in this, but Choi was, one of the members of the show, Park Seon-jun, gave Taehyung a little bit of a call, a little bit of FaceTime, while Choi was in the background kind of strumming his uke. Taehyung quickly realized he was there and yelled at Choi to give back his kimchi container. Of course, everyone was super confused on what was going on, and Choi then had to explain this for the show. Side note, now I'm pretty sure this is a reality TV show, and it's not scripted or anything, or at least it's not supposed to appear that way, but I could be wrong. But like, I love how this guy over here is literally reading a newspaper, as if being on TV wasn't interesting enough for you. You had to go and pull out a newspaper. I cannot. But anyway, Choi had to explain the story with the kimchi container, and he said this: what I admire about Taehyung is that when his mother packs him sandwiches, he brings me one too, and he brought it in a kimchi container. I thought he was giving me that container, so I put my mom's kimchi inside. Hey dude, when someone gives you something, you gotta give it back. Who's giving you a container? You gotta give that back. Some armies have a lot to say about this. One army wrote this: Taehyung, a millionaire. Taehyung, still a millionaire. Yeah, so where's my Tupperware, bro? It's not about the Tupperware. It's not about the money, boo-boo. It's about the principle. You can't just take something that someone gives you. Okay, I mean, you should take something that someone gives you, but don't like keep it if they're not intentionally giving it to you. I like that about Taehyung, actually. It means that he doesn't just take things from you. He's not a taker, he's a giver. And he will probably give it back and keep his word if you lend him something. Just from this, I know that Taehyung is trustworthy and reliable. I mean, it's definitely a very memeable moment, if I do say so myself. Another person on the Tweetster wrote this: my mom said return the kimchi box. Now, of course, Taehyung wants that container back, and most likely it's because it's his mother's, and he wants to keep his mother's stuff. Or perhaps the mother is constantly asking him, where's this container? Also, Koreans eat a lot of kimchi. There is no way this is like a small container. Like, do you think the container wouldn't be able to just fit like a normal amount of kimchi? Like in my house, kimchi goes quick. If it was like a regular sized container, it would just be good for one meal, which would have no point in putting it in that container. Like, it would need to be in like that. Finally, I would like to share one more Tweetster. There is seriously so much, and it's so funny. If you go down through these, I'm sure you'll have a great laugh. I could literally be here all day just reading through these. But I'm gonna show you guys one more. This person wrote, when you're attending the Grammys, but then you remember that your friend didn't return your mom's kimchi box. He's like, oh wait, I gotta text them, I just remembered. Hold the Grammys. I have a kimchi box to get to. I love it. Let me know what you think about this, and let me know what your thoughts are. Leave it down in the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm featuring this comment right here. Thank you so much for leaving comments. And as always, I do have a Patreon. If you want to go over to my Patreon and kind of check that out, anything you can contribute over there really does help kind of give back to this channel and really help me kind of make better videos on here, especially in times like this. So I really do appreciate you going over there and checking that out. It means the world to me. You can also get exclusive content over there, such as music video reactions, performance reactions, ship reactions. You can also recommend things and all type of content over there that you want to see. So please make sure you go and check that out. Link in the top of the description down below. There's also 2 videos that will appear on the screen at the end of the video. So please click on one of those and I will see you over there. Bye.